100 years, that's how long the state high school football tournament has been going on. Before that, they just crowned the team the champ that had the best record, but 100 years ago they started doing it tournament style. Now, a century later, they try something new. With the RPI, 103 out of 109 teams in the state of Utah make the playoffs. One of those teams is the Logan Grizzlies. The Grizzlies last won on their home field in a playoff game in 2013. They're looking to get a win tonight against the Ogden Tigers, a team they've played 72 times. So there's a long history between these two teams. The Grizzlies and the Tigers last met in 2018, with the Grizzlies winning that one by 3 scores. Ethan Wilson can throw the ball all over the yard, and Cade Thornley started to run the ball pretty darn well as the Grizzlies have just, through the season, started to get better and better. Can they continue on into the next round? Stick around to the Game of the Week playoff edition to find out.
Life's more than a race to the finish. It's the power to choose what you do and a trainer for where you go.
Welcome to Thailand. So glad that you joined me.
Ready to get started? Let's go.
It's having a friend guiding you on the journey as a partner with a plan built specifically for you on any day, for every day. It's someone there for every weight, lift, and lunge, and every flex, push, and crunch.
Nice work, you guys.
It's motivation, inspiring you mentally and physically. A companion for the downhills and the uphills. A coach for the tough days
Keep going.
and the easy days. Showing you new things and taking you to new places. Because with your trainers, fitness is an adventure.
Great job. This view is your reward. I'll see you again tomorrow for another amazing workout.
The X22i from Nordic Track. Your life, your trainers.
Your password is password, and everything you own is gray, Mike.
I thought you liked Basic, Mike.
That was before I had Wendy's Made to Crave chicken sandwiches. Now I know I can do better than Basic.
Upgrade from Basic with 3 new sandwiches on Wendy's Made to Crave menu. The barbecue chicken sandwich, avocado BLT chicken sandwich, and the sauce and bacon chicken sandwich. At Wendy's, we got you.
I need to take a long drive at exactly the speed limit.
All right, Coach, start of the second season here right now, and with this new RPI, you know, you're a team that might have been on the outside looking in years past, but you've getting some guys a little bit healthy. Your team's kind of started to click a little bit more as the season's gone on. This is a case where the RPI, you guys might be able to surprise some people. In the past, you wouldn't have had that chance.
Oh yeah, we're starting to click, and you know, with the old system, we would have been left out. You know, we came really close to forcing a 3-game play-in last 2 weeks ago, but you know, we wouldn't have made it, and so we got a second chance. We're going to take advantage of every bit of it.
So as you look at it, you say, hey, you're playing better and things are coming together. Is there anything specifically that you can point to say that you're looking at saying, hey, we're doing this a lot better than we were earlier?
Our run game's been really consistent. I mean, we didn't get as much against Skyview, but Skyview's a great team. You know, we had a really good game against Ridgeline, really good game against Green Canyon. We're looking to continue that success on the ground. We know we can throw the ball. Teams have been dedicating their whole defense to stopping our receivers. So we want to get both facets going this week.
Defensively, how can you slow people down? That's been kind of an Achilles heel for you this season.
You know, our biggest thing is make them one-dimensional, make them do something that they're not the best at. So last week we did a pretty good job. You know, we eliminated some big plays. Just came down to the end. We couldn't make that last drive stop, and against Skyview, their passing game, we tried some things. It didn't really work to shut their pass game down, and we made some adjustments and we slowed it down. We've had 2 weeks off, and unfortunately we didn't get the nod of who we're playing until Saturday, but I think we're prepared on defense, and we're going to try to make them one-dimensional.
And really quickly, talk about Ogden a little bit and what you have to do tonight to move on to the next round.
We got to stop their run game. Their run game is, where they're putting all their emphasis right now, and I think we have the bodies up front to do that. And, we just need to control the tempo of the game and keep the ball in our hands.
All right, good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
Say the word base. Say the word mess.
Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
At Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, we believe in a very thorough hearing test. Do you hear ringing noises? Does any member of your family have hearing loss? Do you have frequent or severe headaches? Any numbness in your face or fingertips? Do loud sounds hurt your ears? Were you in the military? Have you ever had your hearing tested before?
No, I have not.
Say the word mousetrap. Say the word baseball. Say the word airplane. Say the word cowboy. It also told us if you had a cough, I was able to make the words in your syllable.
What are all the rest of the...
Okay.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food, it's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital, together we're greater. New Smile Dental, experienced dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you have been missing. Palmer Home Furnishings, our low overhead means higher quality at lower prices. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. KSM means music. Music is all we do. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Anderson Seed and Garden, growing better gardeners. Factory Pizzeria, we're open late after the game. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years. Hello and welcome to Crimson Field on the campus of Logan High School, where this evening, will be the first round of the UHSAA 4A state playoffs. The Logan Grizzlies taking on the Ogden Tigers. I'm Eric Olson, along with you here as the team captains are out at midfield before the coin flip to see who gets what. And you take a look across the way, there's 8 state championships that the Grizzlies have netted. We've covered 6 of those here on the Valley Channel. Those last, the last 6 of them we've covered here with the Valley Channel, and the Grizzlies have a long and rich tradition. This rivalry has a long and rich tradition. This is a 72nd meeting since 1920. Logan leads the series 41-26-4. And last year they met up at Romney Stadium. Logan won that game 48-26. But the Grizzlies have had trouble getting playoff wins at home. In the last few years they've had trouble getting to the playoffs. Their last playoff home win, 2013. But the Grizzlies in their 51st playoff appearance are ready to try to get their first win in 6 years here on their home court. You know, they're 18th in the state of Utah with 53 playoff wins, so they are in the top 20 of playoff wins. So against the Ogden Tigers tonight, they're looking for number 54. One of the fun things about technology today is that we can put this thing on the web that apparently goes worldwide, is what they tell me. And, you know, we had apparently Randy and the good folks in Holly Pond, Alabama. We want to say hello to the folks at Holly Pond, Alabama. Randy and the good folks down there at the Holly Pond Sports Network reached out to us. They enjoy watching our game of the week, and we love having you with us out there in Holly Pond. It's somewhere between Huntsville and Birmingham. So thanks for the call, Randy. It's for people like you that we broadcast high school sports. We share your philosophy, and you understand what high school sports is all about. Keep up the good work, one student at a time. They do a lot of broadcasting back there on that Holly Pond Sports Network, and they reached out to us this week, and they spoke with our station owner. It's a radio network. They do all sorts of media and stuff back there, and they'll watch our games out here. So I've talked to people all over the world that have watched games from little old Cache Valley, Utah, and they've been able to watch it. We've had parents of players that have been on business trips as far away as China and been able to watch their kids on the game of the week. The Grizzlies get the ball. Ogden won the toss, decided to defer, so the Grizzlies will get the ball first. Last week, they lost to Green Canyon 36-35 2 weeks ago to end the regular season. That was on the 11th of October. 3 of their losses, a 2-7 team in Region 11. 3 of their losses by 5 points, 3 points, and 1 point. So they've been close, but they haven't been able to put a full game together. Short kick means good starting field position for the Grizzlies as they're up near the 40-yard line. Alex 2 returns it up to the 40, and that's where the Grizzlies will take over, led by senior quarterback Ethan Wilson. 104 completions on 221 attempts, 1,468 yards. That's 10th in 4A. 11 touchdowns to 16 interceptions, about a 47% clip. 14 yards per catch, too many interceptions this season, and I know he's not happy about that, but teams are just loaded up to stop the pass. The Grizzlies haven't run the ball well. The last few weeks, they've started to run the ball well. So we'll see as they give it off to Thornley on the first give, and that's running the ball well as Thornley picks up 14. First down for the Grizzlies.
Tackle was made by number 5, Chase Butler.
Thornley's 8th in rushing yards in 4A, 834 yards, 92, almost 93 yards a game. And he missed a couple of games early with injury. Wilson's going to throw. He goes across the middle. He's got a man, and that man is separated from the football in a hurry. Cooper Pond couldn't haul it in. His coach will tell him, you're going to get hit anyway. You might as well catch it. Which is easy to say when you're not the hittee. So 2nd down and 10, and the Grizzlies look to the sideline for the play. The Ogden Tigers giving up 36.5 points per ball game defensively. The Grizzlies scoring 24 per game. Here's the give to Thornley. Waits, has a hole, has a lot of room. Thornley inside the 10, inside the 5, all the way for the touchdown, 46 yards for Cade Thornley.
That was Cade Thornley on the carry.
And that's the start the Grizzlies want. That's what they want to see out of their running game. 3 plays, 2 runs, 60 yards, and a touchdown for the Grizzlies. 40 seconds to get on the clock for the Crimson and Gold. Pond will hold for Moreno, the sophomore. Bad snap. Pond gets it, sets it. Moreno hits it. 11:20 to play in the first. 7-0 Grizzlies with an opening drive touchdown. You're watching the game of the week.
My grandpa went to the Star Hospital to get his back fixed. The doctor used a robot to make a mini invasion. That's pretty cool. When Grandpa had his old back, he just laid on the couch and watched the news. But now we do cool stuff like fishing and hiking.
We provide comprehensive spine care and minimally invasive orthopedic procedures at 8 Star hospitals all along the Wasatch Front. Look for the Star.
Wonder where we keep all the robots.
3 plays, 60 yards, all 60 by Cade Thornley. An incomplete pass sandwiched in there. And the Grizzlies take the early lead. A short kick fielded at the 16-yard line. This hurt Logan last week. Returns against Green Canyon. This one's going to be returned up near the 30 by Isaac Wilson. And that's where Ogden will start. And let's see who their quarterback is. They had a sophomore out there, Ammon Bergeson, a 6'3 sophomore, was the first guy out warming up. He has not played quarterback for him. It's been Ortiz and Holt. Holt broke his ankle. He's been out for most of the season. It's been mostly Ortiz and Butler, and it is Ammon Bergeson, big number 18, just a sophomore at quarterback. He's going to give to Shobe. Shobe, 1,000-plus yard rusher. He's wrangled out of bounds after a short gain, and there's a flag in the backfield on this near sideline.
Number 8, Jalen Sargent. There's a flag on the play. The call is holding on the Ogden Tigers.
So the Ogden Tigers get rung up for a hold. So that'll back them up. Bergeson, number 18, a sophomore. 6'3", good size. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Chase Butler a little bit in running type situations. Number 5, the senior, but Shobe in the backfield after the penalty. And they're going to hand to Shobe. He's caught in the backfield. That's not Shobe, that's Butler, and they can't get him down. They finally do. They push him all the way back to the 5. They're going to say it was the 10-yard line where his forward motion was stopped. So Butler loses
5, that's Chase Butler.
11 yards.
Down in the backfield by Quincy Wyden.
Butler, a 6-foot senior.
Second down, Ogden.
And Ogden in a big hole. There was a little bit of trouble on the exchange from the quarterback to the running back, and it just kind of messed up the timing of the whole play. Now Bergeson in the shotgun with 2 backs in the backfield with him, 3 wide receivers. Bergeson on the little inside give to Butler. Butler picking up yardage, and he's got good yardage out across the 25 to the 27-yard line, about 17 yards. It's still going to be 3rd down and long. 3rd and 14. Butler ran through a huge hole.
3rd down, 12 for the Tigers.
Ogden 3-7 overall, 2-5 in region play, region 10. But the Tigers call home. They score 24 points a game. Give up, as we mentioned, about 36.5. The Grizzly defense gives up 35 points per game. So we'll see which team can play some defense here tonight. That's the team that'll move on, and a flag. The back judge, too much time. The back judge throws his flag, and the Tigers are going to get backed up again. 2 penalties on this possession.
5-yard penalty on the Tigers. Still 3rd down.
It's going to be 3rd and 18. Yeah, Ortiz has played quarterback most of the season since Holt went down early. But it's Bergeson tonight. They fake on the little fly sweep. Bergeson hangs in there. He's hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. He took a wallop from Andrew Thompson. Andrew Thompson leads his team in tackles at 93. One of the top tacklers in the state. So Bergeson's first attempt is incomplete with pressure in his face. To his credit, he stood in there at the last minute. And now the dangerous Ike Larson on for the punt return for the Grizzlies. Standing back at his own 45-yard line. High snap, punter gets it, kicks it away, and Larson's got a chance. Larson coming to the near side. At number 3, Caden Oliveri had a hold of Larson around his hand, would not let go, and he brings him down. And it ends up being a 5-yard loss on the return. But the Grizzlies start once again at the Ogden 40-yard line, already leading 7-0. Sauer and Larson are your receivers, going to be your receivers to this side. Sargent will be the receiver to the far side. Number 8, he splits out. Sargent's got hands, he's got speed. And it won't be long before they go to him. They're going to hand to Thornley. Thornley's got a block. Thornley's got 15 plus. He's finally down out at the 41-yard line. 19 yards. 3 carries, 79 yards for Thornley. 14, 46, and 19, and all 3 of them have been right up the gut. Following right in behind Brandon Willie and Tennyson Hadfield. And they've got a fullback in there tight as well. You can see him right up behind the line. They're going to give it to Thornley again. This time, Butler filled the hole and brought Thornley down with a 1-yard run. 20 yards per carry for Thornley in the early going. It's 7-0 Logan with 8.5 to play in the first quarter. As they look to the sideline for the play. And it's big number 99, Manasseh Tupou, who's playing fullback. He just got eligible, and he's the leading blocker. Thornley follows, and a better job by the Tigers this time. A 2-yard gain, and it's now 3rd down.
3rd down 7 for the Grizzlies.
First 3rd down opportunity as Tupou comes off the field. And the Grizzlies will probably air it out. Ethan Wilson, a baseball player, he's a lefty. He throws a pretty ball. The teams, because of the lack of a run game, the teams have really dialed in against the pass. And here we go. Wilson hangs it out for Larson. Fingertip catch, touchdown. Car stop at 5th gear. Larson's got 6. That's why he's number 6. He shifted it into another gear to get under that one, and he hauled it in for the 39-yard score. Moreno on with a chance to make it 14-0. Pond gets it down. It's a good kick. 14-0 with 7:23 to play in the first. 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns for the Grizz.
It's time for Wendy's Bacon Fest. That's right. The place that brought you the Baconator and sells more bacon cheeseburgers than anyone is making all your Applewood smoked dreams come true. Like the all-new Bacon Jalapeno Cheeseburger. Or the Bacon Double Stack in the $5 Biggie Bag. If you're this crazy for bacon,
Make mine a double.
we got you with the Bacon Jalapeno Cheeseburger or the Bacon Double Stack Biggie Bag. Get yours now at Wendy's Bacon Fest.
They call them explosives in football. Gains of 20 yards or more. And the Grizzlies have had a bunch of them. After the kick, we'll address that. Isaac Wilson takes a short kick out to the 30-yard line before he's finally hauled down, and that's where the Tigers will take over. So the Grizzlies have run 7 plays. Explosives are plays of 20 yards or more. They've had in 7 plays, they've had 2 explosives and 1 borderline, a 19-yard run by Thornley.
Ogden takes over near the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, Ogden Tigers.
When you're running at almost 30% of your plays as an explosive, you're probably going to win some games. Bergeson in the backfield, Schob with him, and 4 wide receivers. Bergeson back to throw. They're going to throw the screen to Butler. Butler's got a block downfield. Good job by his wide receivers, and it's a 9-yard gain on 1st down.
Pass to Chase Butler, brought down after a short gain by Christopher Shotbell.
And if you got a sophomore quarterback in there that's playing for the first time and he's in a playoff game, that's the kind of thing you probably need to do as a coach to give him a little bit of confidence, and get a completion or 2 under his belt as Schob moves up next to him. They're going to hand to Schob. Schob looking for the edge. Schob's got the 1st down and a gain of 4.
Hand off to Logan Schob, brought down by Jalen Sargent.
Schob has 5 games of 100 yards plus rushing. So half of his games, 1037. Numbers are hard. 1,037 yards and 8 touchdowns coming into this game. 2 games of 200 plus yards for Schob. He's 6 feet tall, 175 pounds. You heard me right, 2 200 plus yard games. 1st and 10 as they fake the give to Show. Bergeson's got time and he unloads. Butler into double coverage, and Larson gets up there to knock it away. He's got 6 picks. He's tied for first in 4A with Scout Morris up at Skyview. And he got 1 paw on that one. Bergeson put it out there for his receiver. But Larson, again, 6th gear. He closes and knocks it away, and it was pretty good coverage by the other defensive back that was out there as well. I think it was Sauer. They've moved Larson to safety from corner to let him roam the field a little bit more. As Bergeson turns and hands it to Shoab, he's walloped. Man, he's hit by Ace Kennington after a 1-yard gain.
Logan Shoab on the carry, brought down.
Now it's 3rd down and 9. 5:50 to play in the first quarter. It's 14-0 Logan. As offensively, the Grizzlies are ripping off chunk plays, one after another. Three receivers to the near side on 3rd and 9. And Bergeson, the sophomore, sends Butler out of the backfield, and a motion call, procedure call on Ogden, their 3rd penalty. The Grizzlies have yet to draw any laundry. So now it's 3rd and 14.
Five-yard penalty on the Tigers. Still 3rd down.
Bergeson sends Butler out of the backfield, and we've got motion again. It's the same thing. They need to figure out, the Tigers need to figure out what they're doing. I didn't see if it was a lineman or what, but as soon as Butler went in motion, they threw the flag. Eric Thompson, the head coach at Ogden, years at Northridge, a successful program out there. His team's looking at 3rd and 19 with a sophomore quarterback. They're going to turn on the inside give to Shoab, and he's stuffed. Shopbell was there, but so was Manasa Tupelo. Shoab with no gain.
4th down, Tigers.
And the Tigers are going to have to punt again. Mike Larson will get another shot at it. I think they might be trying to set up a return left. See if Larson gets a grab at it if he heads for the far sideline. Good kick. Larson over his shoulder, and he comes to this sideline. Down the sideline, cuts back inside, picking up blocks, and somebody grabs a hold of him at the 48-yard line and won't let go. Rylan Oliveri may have saved a touchdown. As it is, the Grizzlies lead 14-0, and they have the ball at the Ogden 47-yard line. Grizzlies 1-4 in Region 11, 2-7 overall. Did not play last week in the short week. Both of these teams played Stansbury. We did the Stansbury-Logan game. It was a 47-42 ball game. Heck of a game. Ogden lost to Stansbury 63-15. Stansbury, I think one of your favorites in 4A. Stansbury, Park City, and Skyview, I think, and Pineview are your teams to really watch out for. Here's Thornley looking for an opening. He picks and chooses and finally turns it upfield and gains 7. He just took his time and just was picking his way down the field slowly, as setting up blocks. And you see that more and more, right? You used to see Le'Veon Bell run like that for the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he wouldn't really hit a hole. He'd just kind of come up there and then pick a hole and go. And you're seeing that running style a lot more. You're seeing offenses use it a lot more. Wake Forest is using it this year, and they're pretty effective. Downfield, Sauer takes the delivery from Wilson. 13 yards and a first down.
Brought down by Gavin Herrick. And that Grizzly first down is brought to you by Peck Hatfield, Baxter & Moore. Thank you for your support of Logan High football.
Two for 3, 52 yards and a touchdown for Wilson. Now you've got Sargent and Larson on the same side. What are you going to do? That's a lot of speed to the far side of the field. 2.5 to play in the first quarter. They go up top looking for Larson. Larson leaps. Comes down with it. Touchdown, Grizzlies. 27 yards. Two catches, 2 touchdowns, 66 yards for Ike Larson. And the Grizzlies with a 3-score lead early. Kick's good, it's 21-0, 2:25 to play in the first quarter. You're watching the Game of the Week playoff edition on the Valley Channel.
Because I know nothing about gardening, but they do, and they're more than happy to coach me through it and tell me what to do, and I'm so excited. My favorite things at Anderson are the flowers and the decorations. I love those, especially at Christmas time.
21-0 here down the road in Hiram. Mountain Crest is hosting Uinta, and Mountain Crest leads that ball game 15-0. Mountain Crest has scored on offense and defense in that game, we understand. And here it's been all offense for the Grizzlies. Here's another short kick, and good starting field position for the Tigers as Cooper Crabtree out to the 33-yard line.
Kick return by Cooper Crabtree, brought down by number 37, Andrew Thompson. First down, Tigers.
So the Tigers now with a 3-touchdown haul. Just got an update, 22-0. Mountain Crest over Uinta. I would be absolutely shocked if Mountain Crest didn't just roll over Uinta. Uinta had a tough season. Bergeson unloads his hit as he throws, and it's tipped. Falls incomplete. It's Andrew Thompson providing the pressure. Thompson, 93 tackles. Shotbell with 5 sacks on the season to lead the Grizzlies, and we mentioned Larson with his 6 interceptions. Tied for first in 4A with interceptions. Scout Morris, Skyview, we mentioned that. Thompson is 5th in 4A in tackles. Shotbell is 12th in tackles in 4A and 7th in sacks. Bergeson's 1 for 4 so far on the afternoon. Now they throw the screen and Butler drops it, and he had some running room. Thompson was closing. Butler might have picked up 6 or 7, but it's going to be 3rd down and 10.
For your information, Grizzly fans, the Logan High volleyball team will also be taking on the Ogden Tigers tomorrow.
Not a great start for Ogden.
We'd like to wish
Ogden,
good luck to the Lady Grizz volleyball team.
Winners of 3 games. They'd won 2 of their last 4. But the Grizzlies, again, you could see them kind of picking up some momentum as the season was going on. They were coming up short, but they were starting to put it together. Penalties, turnovers have bit them all year long. Bergeson on a little screen inside. Good tackle evasion in there by Crabtree, and then he is helped to his seat by Ike Larson. And there's a flag. Looks like it's going to be a hold against Ogden. We'll see if Logan just declines it and takes 4th and 3, or if they're going to back him up. Now they're going to back him up and give him 3rd down again. So the holding was downfield 3 or 4 yards, so it'll be 3rd and about 16. Well, it's closer to 18, so it was only a couple yards downfield. That is the 4th penalty on Ogden. There's still 2 minutes to play in the first quarter, and the clock running. Ferguson has time, unloads to nobody. His receiver cut off his pattern. Crabtree cut off his pattern at about 14, 15 yards downfield, and Ferguson threw it deep. And Ogden goes to 0 for 3 on 3rd downs. Shotbell just about gets to that one. High kick, and Larson's got a lot of room. Coming to the near side, cuts it up inside. Larson down the sideline, runs over an Ogden player, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 33-yard line. Crabtree pushes him out of bounds, but Larson puts his shoulder down. He had a head of steam, and he laid the wood. Kai Lang, number 41 in the ball game now for Logan. He's just a freshman. Heard he might get some time tonight. See if they put him in the backfield or they split him out. Now he's in the slot with Sauer on the outside to the far side of the field. And Thornley's your running back behind Wilson. Now Lang in motion. Looking for Sauer, and Wilson throws it out there a little bit high, but Sauer had both hands on it and should have come down with it. 2nd down. Wilson, only his 2nd incompletion of the night. Give to Thornley. Thornley picks his way forward to 7 yards. There's 1 minute to play in the first quarter. Thornley's got 96 yards rushing on 7 carries. A 46-yarder to open the scoring. And the Grizzlies taking their time now. Tupou in there at the fullback. They're going to give it to him. And he's going to take tacklers with him all the way down to the 10-yard line. Just shy of the 10. He's got 14 yards.
Stumbling all the way down to the 10-yard line. Tackle made by Chase Butler. And that
he just got eligible, playing his first game of the season. And the Grizzlies are thrilled to have him. We knew they were happy to have him defensively. We didn't know that he was going to play such a big role offensively. He's been the lead blocker for a lot of those 96 yards that Thornley has carried for. They're going to give to Thornley again, off the right side. Thornley still on his feet, heading for the end zone. Touchdown! Shobe had a hold of his shirt, and I think the shirt tore, and Thornley goes in from 11 yards out. and he's over 100 yards on the night. There's still 3 seconds left in the first quarter, and the Grizzlies are about to go up 28-0. This is a matchup of two teams that were seeded 16 for Logan, 17 for Ogden. So their RPIs were real close, but it's been all Grizzlies here in this first quarter. And Moreno's kick makes it 28-0 with 3 seconds to play in the first quarter. All Grizzlies on the Valley Channel Game of the Week.
Hi Cache Valley, this is Fernando over the Factory Pizzeria. We're running a special right now. We're giving out free nachos when you buy a large pizza with 3 toppings. Just mention this out and you're gonna get a free nachos every time you come. The Factory Pizzeria is located in 119 South Main, below the Gia's in the basement. Come see as soon as you can. Thank you.
$28-0 Grizzlies after Thornley bursts in from 11 yards out for his second touchdown run of the half. Short kick fielded at the 30-yard line and returned up to about the 34 by Gavin Herrick, and that's where Ogden will take over as the shadows start to get longer here on a late October afternoon. Gorgeous conditions, not a cloud in the sky, and the sun sinking toward the Wellsvilles. That's the end of the first quarter. Let's keep it right here where we just took a break and talk about this one for a minute. So it's 16 seed versus 17 seed, and you're thinking it's two pretty evenly matched teams, right? Well, you look at their stats, and Ogden scores 24 a game, and Logan scores 24 a game. Ogden gives up 36.5 a game, and Grizzlies give up 35 a game. Boy, their numbers are really close, and it's been all Grizzlies. They've held on to the football. They haven't turned it over. They have yet to commit a penalty. Ogden hasn't turned it over either, but they have 5 penalties. Starting the sophomore, Ammon Bergeson, he's 1 for 5 for 9 yards. Logan Schob, the junior running back, almost 1,100 yards on the season coming in. It's got 3 carries for 5 yards. Butler 2 carries for 6, and Ogden offensively just can't get anything going. 20 yards in that first quarter for Ogden. 200 yards. You heard me right. 200 yards in the first quarter for the Grizzlies. Right on the nose. Here's the pitch out to Schob. They get him on the edge, and he's got running room. Schob inside Logan territory.
Hand off to Logan Schob. Big gain on the play.
32 yards for Schob. So the Tigers in Grizzly territory to start the second quarter. They send Schob in motion. Bergeson back to throw. They run a little screen to Butler. Butler's got room. Good blocking downfield, and Butler's down near the 10-yard line.
Pass complete to Chase Butler. Another big gain.
23 yards on the screen.
First down, Tigers.
First down, and the Tigers can get a first down inside the 2. Gonna give to Schob. Schob turns the corner, finds the end zone. Just like that, the Tigers are on the board. It took them less than a minute. 11:04 to play in the first half, and the Ogden Tigers get on the board. Schob with the 11-yard scamper. He's got 48 yards on 5 carries. 43 of those yards on his last 2 carries. Crabtree to hold. And a little punch kick by Wilson is up and good. 28-7. Logan gets the ball back, but their lead cut to 21.
Hey guys, if you've been thinking about a guitar or any other instrument in mind for you or somebody else, we have some great financing options from 6 to 12 months. Yamaha's doing a 12-month plan right now. Come in, get some time to pay it off, and have no interest for up to a year.
Back at Crimson Field, Eric Olson along with you on the Game of the Week playoff edition for the Valley Channel. Ogden on the board, 28-7 Logan. Wilson set to kick off. And it's Larson at the 11-yard line. Dangerous return man. Up the middle. Here we go. They're not going to catch him unless they get a car. And there's a flag down at the 47-yard line. Let's see what it is. Right now it's an 89-yard touchdown return on the kickoff. And let's see what the flag is. Back at the 47-yard line of Ogden. The kicker and one of the Grizzlies were going at it. Larson went right up the middle, cut it to the edge, and then shifted it into top gear, which may be 6. We said he has 6 gears. He may have 8. I don't know. Touchdown's good. So it's a personal foul on Ogden.
The touchdown is good, and the call is a personal foul on the Tigers.
So it's an 89-yard touchdown return that stands on the kickoff. Larson, you know, I don't keep the stats for returns, but I mean, he's got to have close to 200 yards return yardage tonight because he's had big punt returns. His first one was -5. Since then, he's had double-digit punt returns and then 89 yards right there. There's a bad snap, and Moreno is hauled down. So the Grizzlies lead 34-7 with 10:51 to play in the half on the Game of the Week playoff edition. 10:51 to play in the first half. Logan answers the Ogden touchdown with one of their own on the kickoff. Larson takes it 89 yards for the score, and the personal foul penalty on Ogden means that Logan will be kicking off from the Ogden 45-yard line. Moreno's not a deep kicker. He kicks this one to the 3, where it's picked up by Isaac Wilson, who returns it out to the 34-yard line. So a 31-yard return for Ogden. And the Tigers will have decent field position. See if they got a little bit of offensive rhythm going after the last possession. We just got a word out of Hiram that Mountain Crest is now up 30-0. Nope, 37-0 against Uinta, and they just ended the first quarter out there. So Mountain Crest looks like they're going to be moving on, and Logan's in good position with still a lot of football to play. Not quite ready to call this one yet. Big hit. And this one, boy, I don't know if it ever touched the ground. Larson picks it up. Here comes every flag on earth. So it's coming back. Larson returns it into Ogden territory. That one must have popped up when it hit Cooper Crabtree, and then Larson picks it out of the air. A blindside block against Logan is going to bring it way back. And also for the Tigers, one of their players, looks like Jared Blackham maybe. He's holding his shoulder weird. I wonder if he's got a shoulder dislocation. No, that's Carlos Vera. He's holding his arm and shoulder weird. I wonder if he was in on that tackle. I wonder if he's dislocated something. And they're walking him off to the far sideline. And you can tell whatever it is, it hurts. It's on the Grizzlies like we thought it would be.
Mountain Crest. In the second quarter, Mountain Crest 37, Uinta 0.
So that's going to back Logan up, but Larson with the pick.
After the penalty, the Grizzlies will start from their own 25-yard line. First down, Logan.
Bergeson led Crabtree right into trouble there. I thought it was just going to go incomplete, but before it could hit the ground, Larson came out of nowhere and plucked it for his 7th interception of the year. Sauer and Pond join Shopbell to the far side. Sargent to this near side as Shopbell goes in motion. Flag, and they blow it dead. And Logan was moving. So Logan, no penalties in the first quarter, 2 here on back-to-back plays in the second.
Penalty on the Grizzlies, still first down.
And the Tigers kind of wondering what hit them. Tigers 3-7 on the season. They won a couple of games here late and kind of maybe felt like they had something going. But the Grizzlies have been improving each week too. They lost by 1 point to a very good Green Canyon team last week. Just couldn't make that final stop, and Green Canyon won the game. Lundeen doing what he does so well last week. Thornley picks up 7. He's got 114 yards on 9 carries for Thornley and 2 touchdowns. And that's what the Grizzlies have been looking for, is that run game. You talk about Ethan Wilson and mention too many interceptions, 11 touchdowns, good, but 16 interceptions. He's been throwing a lot of balls under pressure because teams have been doubling his best receivers. They've been coming after him because they haven't been able to run the ball. Sargent with the catch, he's got the first down. He's out to the 42. 14 yards and a first down. And you see with a run game what Wilson can do. He's got 93 yards, 2 touchdowns on 4 of 6 passing. First catch for Sargent. See the Grizzly players shielding their eyes. That sun is about 20 minutes away from getting down behind the mountains. The shadow of the press box will be out there in the middle of the field before too long. And the officials blow it dead because Sargent got an equipment problem. No, it was something with his shoe. It's untied. Coach came over and did it for him. I think I better get him some Velcro. Give it to Thornley. Thornley stacked up in the backfield and hauled down for a loss. Nice play by Chase Butler.
Second down 11 for the Grizzlies.
Butler putting his head down, driving the offensive lineman right back into Thornley, and then reaching around the lineman to grab Thornley and hang on and pull him down. That's one thing with Thornley. He's not big. He is an explosive runner, and he can run strong, but he's not big. They're going to give it on the fly sweep to Sargent. Sargent spins around and down after a gain of about 6. Logan with only their second third down of the evening. 3rd and 5. $133 yards rushing for the Grizzlies here in this first half. There's still 8 minutes to play. And they're going to run it on 3rd and 5. Thornley's got a lot of room. Thornley tripped up inside the Ogden 30-yard line.
Big gain on the play. Finally brought down by Cooper Crabtree. And that Logan first down is brought to you by Rock Slide Engineering.
27 yards for Thornley on that one.
Of Logan High Athletics.
He's got 140 yards on 11 carries. And these aren't the get to the outside and get into the secondary kind. These are running right up the middle. His interior line opening some big holes. Tupou's in there at fullback, and he's going to follow 99. This time he's caught from the backside after a pickup of about 3. It's Shobe who takes him down.
Second down for the Grizzlies.
And the Grizz not in any hurry as they lead 34-7. Ogden will get the ball to start the second half. But the Grizzlies have just done whatever they've wanted offensively. Tupou's in there again, and they're going to give it to him. It's first man through. He hauls some players for 6 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 1.
Hand off to Manasseh Tupou.
Manasseh Tupou, 2 carries,
Brought down by
20 yards.
Renteria. 3rd down Grizzlies.
Ogden jumped, but they didn't come across. 8 seconds on the play clock. Out of the pistol, they're going to hand it again to Thornley. Right up in the middle, Thornley's got a block, he's in the end zone. 19 yards for Thornley. 162 yards and 3 touchdowns for Thornley on 13 carries. Again, right up the middle. And his line's opening up big running lanes. And Moreno's on again to kick. Now watch the snap. Pond's been able to catch it and get it down 4 out of the 5 times tonight. Now that one was a good one, and Pond puts it down and Moreno hits it. It's 41-7 with 6:04 to play in the first half. It's all Logan here at Crimson Field. Back at Crimson Field on the campus of Logan High School, Eric Olson along with you at Logan in the first round of the State 4A playoffs. This one's going to be taken at about the 7-yard line and returned up to the 22. That's where Ogden will start it with Shobe on the return. Well, the winner of this game goes to Park City to play the Miners, who have a bye this week. The top 10 teams in 4A get a bye. So Park City's got a bye, and here in Region 11, Green Canyon and Skyview each have a bye. Park City's the #1 overall seed, Skyview second, Green Canyon fourth, Dixie's third. even though Pineview won that region. Schob looking for room up the middle, and Shotbell grabs him for a yard loss.
Landon Covington in on the tackle that time.
Covington in there as well. Green Canyon will be taking on next week the winner of Cedar and Crimson Cliffs. Cedar leads Crimson Cliffs 21-19 at the half. That game will be at Green Canyon. Right now, that's our plan to cover that game next week, and then we'll see about the week after. Here's the pitch out to Butler. Butler has a crease. Butler's got a first down, and he was one tackle away from taking it the distance.
Tackle made by Andrew Thompson. That's enough for a first down.
17 yards for Butler. As we approach 5 minutes to play in the first half. Skyview plays the Cedar Valley Canyon View winner. Cedar Valley's leading Canyon View 21-0 in the first quarter. There's 2 more rounds to play here at home. Bergeson across the middle, it's picked. Picked off and a lot of running room for Thompson. Thompson's taking it in. From 44 yards.
That interception and touchdown was by number 37, Andrew Thompson.
Bergeson's thrown 2 interceptions now, and Thompson with the return. The Grizzlies have scored offensively, defensively, and on special teams. There's going to be a running clock to start the second half because the Grizzlies are now up by 40 points. I thought the Grizzlies would take care of business, but not like this. I knew the Grizzlies had been improving. And I didn't think Ogden was bad, but Ogden's not having a good night. And the Grizzlies are doing everything right. So illegal participation there. 1 too many players in the huddle for Ogden, and they're just going to go ahead and kick it. As the wheels are coming off for the Ogden Tigers. It's because they're surrounded by Grizzlies. 48-7 Logan with 4:40 to play in the half.
So, you bought your computer from one of those big box stores, or online, and now it's really slow, or just not working right.
Target acquired.
PCs Unlimited can fix it. Fixing computers is what we do, and we've been doing it for over 20 years. Service, repair, diagnostics, networking, upgrades, system and data recovery, all your computer needs. Our prices are low, and our customer service is the best. You won't get help from the big box or online. Come see the professionals at PCs Unlimited.
.440 to play in the first half. And the Grizzlies are mauling the Tigers. You get it? Mauling. Who would win in a fight between a Grizzly and a Tiger? Well, tonight, it's the Grizzlies. Last year, they played a pretty good ball game up at Romney Stadium at that event or Romney Maverick. Live in the now, dude. Maverick Stadium up at Utah State. They have that event early in the season where local teams will play. And after the penalty on Logan, they were offsides. The Grizzlies will have to kick it again. But that game last year Logan still won it by 20 points, but it was competitive. Here's Schob getting out to the 45-yard line before he's finally ridden out of bounds by Landon Covington. Kick coverage has not been awesome tonight for either team. Logan's got a kick return for a touchdown. Ike Larson has returned a pile of punts for a lot of yardage. hasn't scored on a punt return yet. And Ogden's gotten pretty good field position. Logan doesn't really kick it deep. Here's the pitch out to Shobe to the boundary side. Shobe's got the first down. He's got way more. And that is proper grammar in high school football. Way more.
Darren Johnson in on tackle that time. First down, Ogden Tigers.
19 yards for Shobe. 7 carries, 66 yards for Shobe, who averages 103 yards per game on the ground. They're going to fake the give this time, and Bergeson uncorks it into double coverage. Crabtree makes the catch, and there's a flag there. Larson and Crabtree were fighting, that Sauer and Crabtree were fighting all the way downfield. We'll see who they call this on. It's 27 yards, and I think it's going to stand. Pass interference on the Grizzlies.
Penalty on the Grizzlies is declined. First down, Ogden Tigers.
Bergeson's 3 for 8, 59 yards, 2 interceptions. One of those INTs returned for a touchdown. And we're under 4 minutes to play in the first half, and Ogden knocking on the door. Pitch it out to Butler. Butler pursued all the way to the edge, and all the Grizzlies live there.
Chase Butler on the handoff. Dropped in the backfield.
Goldilocks only had to deal with 3 of them. He dealt with 11, and he lost 3 yards.
Second down for the Tigers.
86 yards rushing for the Tigers in this first half. $145 total yards for Ogden in this first half. They're going to give to Shobe on the little counter. Shobe rumbling his way down to the 6-yard line. It's a gain of 7.
Third down goal for the Tigers.
So it's 3rd and goal for Ogden from the 7. And it's 4 down territory as Bergeson brings the play in. Nick Howard also in, a 6'4" wide receiver. Actually, he's going to play on the end here like a tight end. See if they try to throw it up in the air to him with his height. Nope, they're going to pitch it out to Shobe. He has trouble, but then gathers it in. Stiff arm, and then he's hauled down. Well, he looked like he might get to the pylon. Instead, he gains 3, and it's going to be 4th and goal from the 4.
Down by Jalen Hoff. Short gain on the play. 4th down and goal for the Tigers.
Jalen Hoff makes the tackle. And Ogden calls timeout with 2:06 to play in the first half, trailing 48-7.
For our annual Bear Hugs Christmas shop. Please donate generously as Griswold brings his
Thornley has had a big night for Logan, 162 yards and 3 touchdowns coming into tonight's game. He had 11 touchdowns rushing, 4th in 4A. He's 8th in rushing yards. So he's up to, if we add them together, he's up over 1,000 yards now rushing for the season. Sargent's 6th in 4A in receiving touchdowns and 12th in 4A in yards, and they really haven't thrown the ball to him much tonight. Thompson and Shotbell, we mentioned their defensive prowess, as well as Larson. You know, in 1919, when they first started doing the playoffs, 25 teams went to the playoffs here in Utah. It's 103 that started tonight. 6 teams didn't play, the Independents and a couple in one of the lower divisions. Bergeson on 4th and goal. He's got a man in the back of the end zone. He leaves it short. It's picked off. And it's a touchback. Picked off by Shopbell. He had a man, and Bergeson just kind of finessed it out there instead of leading him out there. And Shopbell undercut the pattern and took it away. And the Grizzlies take over at the 20-yard line. Under 2 minutes to play.
The state championship soccer game.
The state championship soccer game is going on, and Ogden beat Ridgeline 2-1 to win the state soccer title, the girls' soccer title. Ogden's been a powerhouse in girls soccer the last few years. One of my friends was their coach for a few years and won a title there. He's at a different school now, but Ogden's been a good girls soccer school for a while now. Wilson, out pattern as they run the hook and ladder to Hadfield. Big Tennyson Hadfield. Picks up about 4 yards on the rush after the
Tennyson Hadfield. 9-yard gain on the play.
Wow.
Austin Richards on the tackle. Congratulations to Tenny Hadfield for getting some yards there.
So the pass was complete. The pitch back to Hadfield, a lineman. Hadfield takes it for 4 more yards, and it's 2nd and 1. Larson in motion. They're going to toss it to him and try to get him on the edge. A lot of Tigers there. He's got the first down, and he's finally pushed back. Carson Payne, the linebackers,
Carson Payne.
not having any of that, but it's a first down, a gain of about 5 for Larson.
And that's enough for another Grizzly first down.
So the run game has been on point for the Grizzlies tonight, and when they can run the football, they can cause problems. They scored 35 last week, 48 so far tonight. And they're giving it to Thornley again. Speaking of running the football, Thornley's out near midfield. He's pushed out at the 49, 16-yard carry, and there comes a late flag. Ozzie Norton, I think, got there a little late.
Number 14, Jaden
And Caden Oliveri, all about 5'9" of him, getting in Tennyson Hadfield's face.
Logan and I would like to thank the following sponsors: the Logo Shop, McDonald's, Logan
Okay.
Therapy, Highline Recreation, Lifestyle Products, Logan Oral Surgery, Cool Wealth Orthodontics, and Bridgeland Technical College. Personal foul on the Ogden Tigers.
So that's 15 more yards for the Grizz. And now they're at the Ogden 34-yard line with 35 seconds to play in the half. And the field in shadow now. I think Logan will try to put more points on the board before the half. Wilson throws the swing out to Thornley. Thornley brought down by Butler after 6.
Brought down by Logan Show. Gain of 6 on the play, 2nd down 4 for the group.
Here we go deep for Larson. Leaps, drops it. He had it in his hands, and he dropped it.
Intended for Isaac Larson. 3rd down for the group.
3rd down for the Grizz. They're 2 of 3 on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 4. 8 seconds to play in the half. Logan's got all 3 of their timeouts. You know, they don't have to score here, obviously leading 48-7. And now Ogden wants a timeout. They want to make sure Logan doesn't get in the end zone again. 6 of 9, 105 yards and 2 touchdowns for Wilson, who had 1,468 yards coming into this game. Good for 10th in 4A yardage-wise. 4th in 4A in passing touchdowns. 47% completion rate. He's above that tonight. Crest leads at 51-0. They're not even at the half yet in that ball game out there in Hiram. Ridgeline plays tomorrow. They play Hurricane. Playing it on a Saturday, presumably because Hurricane's got to come from Hurricane down near St. George to get up here. Give them that extra day to make that long trek. It's long enough in a car, let alone on a bus. Ogden's set up to prevent a deep pass. I wouldn't be surprised to see Wilson turn around and hand it to Thornley. No, they're going to throw it. They're looking for the edge for Sargent, and he drops it. And it's going to be 4th down with 3 seconds on the clock.
4th down for the Grizzlies.
I think they were trying to get it to Sargent down there enough to get a first down and get him out of bounds and maybe have a chance at a field goal. Now Lang's going to step into the backfield with Thornley. Sargent to the far side, Sauer and Pond to this near side. And they're going to hand it to Thornley to end the half. Thornley behind Lang. Thornley stepping out of tackles. Thornley spins it down to the 15-yard line. He's got a 14-yard run to end the half. And Thornley ends the half with 192 yards rushing on 15 carries, 3 touchdowns, and the Grizzlies lead 48-7. We'll be back in a little bit with the second half. You're watching Game of the Week on the Valley Channel.
You are a flight paramedic for the Air Care helicopter service that's used by all Mountain Star hospitals, I'm thinking. Yeah.
I am, yeah. So we're Mountain Star Air Care. We're based out of Ogden Regional, down in Ogden. We service everywhere north and some south of there. We come up here to Cache Valley very often. We are a critical care transport team, so we do everything from 911 response. So that includes car accidents, people that are injured out and about, and then we also do interfacility. So we take from smaller facilities, such as Cache Valley, and take them to tertiary facilities where they get a little bit higher level of care.
Well, now see, I didn't know that Mountain Star actually had this facility, and it's fabulous. What a great service you provide. So I'm thinking that these guys do everything that emergency room nurses do, except you're in like a 5-foot small squashed in area doing all those critical things.
Yeah, we absolutely do. So we do advanced cardiac type transports. We have a ventilator that we can do very advanced vent settings on, carry all the same medications. We're more or less a continuation of care. Wow.
So what typically does the flight look like? Presumably you've got your pilot and then yourself.
Yeah, so we're always a 3-man crew. We have a pilot, he's always dedicated to flying the aircraft, and then 2 medical personnel, and that's a flight paramedic and flight nurse. And we're all critically care certified.
Okay. So who knew? I did not know that these guys flew up here, but we're certainly grateful that you do. Totally dedicated to Mountain Star facilities up and down the Salt Lake to up here in Cache Valley. Brock, thank you so much and good luck.
You're very welcome, thank you.
Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
At Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, we believe in a very thorough hearing test. Do you hear ringing noises? Does any member of your family have hearing loss? Do you have frequent or severe headaches? Any numbness in your face or fingertips? Do loud sounds hurt your ears? Were you in the military? Have you ever had your hearing tested before?
No, I have not.
Say the word mousetrap.
Mousetrap.
Say the word baseball. Say the word airplane. Say the word cowboy. Say the word shoelace. It also told us if you had a hole there, you were able to make the words more still. Threshold in your ear.
Frequency ranges. What are all the rest of the...
Okay.
Bring back what you've been missing. Bring back Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology.
Talent is important in every sport, but when you get on the field, it's who wants it more, who's willing to work harder for it. And that's what I love about it.
He was about 5 years old, and we went to a little routine eye check, and it turns out that he couldn't see with his left eye at all.
You know, your eyes are a pair, they're a duo, and amblyopia comes in when one of them gives up.
One eye is so much stronger than the other that the weak eye stops working, so you have to strengthen it.
I had to wear a patch on my eye to school every day, and I just felt not as good as everyone else. I would come home and I'd cry sometimes because I was the freak of the school.
There were times when I got so angry on his behalf. How can these other kids treat you this way?
But it made me realize it's not that everyone's better than me, I just have to work harder than everyone. I needed to keep going until it made my eye stronger. So I wore that patch every day for 5 years, and when I finally got to take that patch off for the last time, it had made me a completely different person. But I still struggle with depth perception, things that come naturally to other defenders on the field, I have to work for. I was going to the gym and I was a much stronger player. I was no longer the guy getting pushed off the ball, I was the guy bodying people.
For technical ability, he's off the charts. He's an absolute winner, always gets the job done.
When you're fighting, you're struggling, you're working hard with your team, you're putting forth everything that you have, and then when you finally put the ball in the back of the net, it's the most beautiful feeling in the world. If you work hard at something, you can be successful. You can beat the odds. You just can't give up. My left eye gave up on me, but I didn't want to give up on my eye.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food, it's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital, together we're greater. New Smile Dental, experience dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you have been missing. Palmer Home Furnishings, our low overhead means higher quality at lower prices. Aspen Dental, get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. KSM means music. Music is all we do. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Anderson Seed and Garden, growing better gardeners. Factory Pizzeria, we're open late after the game. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years. Get ready to start the second half here at Logan, where the Grizzlies lead 48-7. Mountain Crest leads Uinta 51-0 at the half down there in Hiram. Mountain Crest is 24-4 at home in the playoffs, so they usually win at home in the playoffs. In the first half here, Logan ran for 227 yards, 192 of those by Thornley, 105 yards passing, 332 yards, and a 48-7 lead. They scored on offense, defense, and special teams. A 44-yard pick six by Andrew Thompson, and Ike Larson with an 89-yard touchdown kickoff return. Ogden with 96 yards rushing in the first half and 59 yards passing for 155 total yards. Shob 76 yards on 9 carries. So he's about 7.25 yards per carry. He's a good running back. You're not going to hold him down, and he's going to return this one. Nope, that's not Shob. That's Isaac Wilson. And Wilson's out to about the 32.
Kick returned by number 24, Isaac Wilson. Brought down by Gage Jensen. First down, Tigers.
So the clock's going to run. It's a running clock this second half, where it's a 34-point plus deficit. It's a second half running clock as they pitch it out to Shobe. Shobe looking for running room, and there's none there. Quincy Wildman, the first one there. Shobe loses two.
Wildman in on the tackle that time. Second down, 12 for the Tigers.
Logan did whatever they wanted offensively. Defensively, they caused all sorts of trouble. 2 interceptions. 7 penalties on Ogden in the first half. Logan with 3. And the Grizzlies looking like they're on their way to Park City next week for a date with the #1 seed. Here's another pick, and this one's got 6 written on it. Let's see if he gets there. He's got blockers. Stepping inside and working his way in the 10-yard line is Jalen Hoff. And the Logan offense will come out, set up on this 10-yard line. Bergeson, the sophomore, getting the start tonight. They're talking with some of the Grizzly coaching staff when they saw him warming up. Like, that's not the quarterback we saw on film. And Bergeson, I mean, looked good in warm-ups. He's big, he's 6'3". Threw a nice ball, but he's a sophomore. And he's thrown 3 interceptions tonight. Thrown for 59 yards, 3 of 8. 1 return for a touchdown. This one returned to the 10. And Wilson fumbles the snap, gets back on it.
Fumble on the play. Recovered by Ethan Wilson. Second
No gain for Ethan Wilson. So now it's 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line. Turn and hand it to Tupou. Tupou looking for the end zone. He's there. Touchdown! Manasseh Tupou. He's got 3 carries on the night for 30 yards and a touchdown. So the Grizzlies hang half 100 on Ogden, and there's still 9:50 to play in the 3rd quarter. Moreno on for the kick. And it's good. He's had plenty of practice tonight as Moreno, 55 points on the board for Logan in the 3rd quarter.
Day 568 of our journey into America's freezers. We've found ourselves at a location which we're told has frozen beef, but we need to dig deeper. Is the beef currently frozen?
Yeah, it's frozen.
Would it be possible to actually go in the freezer and get those frozen discs right out of the ice?
Oh, we already did that all this morning.
Might it be possible to have it on a stick, like a popsicle? No? All right, fair enough. With every restaurant, I feel we grow a little bit closer to actually getting in the freezer.
Don't settle for frozen. Swing by Wendy's and try a Dave's Double to see how fresh beef tastes. And now, great offers are available in the Wendy's mobile app. Download, sign up, and check your account to start redeeming today.
Back at Crimson Field, the Grizzlies have created 3 turnovers tonight, and they've scored points off of every one of them. Here's a return for Crabtree. He's going to come back on a clip. No, they didn't throw the flag. Crabtree all the way for the touchdown.
Kick returned by Cooper Crabtree, and that's a touchdown for the Ogden Tigers.
One of the Grizzlies looked like he was clipped. They didn't call it. It was the kicker, Moreno. You know, the blocker ran up the back of him, and then Moreno kind of stopped, and then the blocker ran into him. Maybe that's why they didn't throw the flag there. So it's return for a touchdown. And now it's 55-13 as Ogden. They're huddling up like they might go for two. Yeah, they're going to go for two. Bergeson under center. Rolls and he's throwing back the other way. He throws it to a lineman who slips out on one tackle and he stops short of the two-point conversion. Let's stay right here. We just had a break. We'll keep it right here. And we've had a little bit of action here in the last 5 minutes. An interception, a touchdown run from a D lineman playing fullback. A kickoff return for a touchdown. A throw to a lineman. That was Carson Payne, the 5'11" senior offensive lineman. He broke a tackle at the 5 and then was hauled down to the 1. He'll watch film on that and go, oh, it was my chance. It was a good hard run, nonetheless. But the Grizzlies' lead cut to 55-13. Looking to see who it is on the sideline. One of the trainers is looking at Wilson. Looked like they wrapped his wrist. With a 55-13 lead, let's see if Wilson comes back in if he's got an issue. He doesn't act like there's any problem. I wonder if he got cut or something, because it looked like they had some gauze there and wrapped it up, and he looks good to go. Here's Larson at the 11. He's already returned one. He's got room again. Pops to the outside. Look out! Larson loses the football, and the Ogden Tigers have picked it up.
Isaac Larson with the return, fumble on the play.
After a 54-yard return, Larson fumbles. He was fighting for some extra yards. A lot of Ogden players around him, and somebody clawed the ball out of there, and the Tigers get the ball back. The first turnover of the night for the Grizzlies. Bergeson and the Tigers looking for back-to-back scoring drives. The Grizzlies really not in much peril, leading 55-13. They're up by 6 touchdowns. And the clock is in running mode. Here's the give to Shobe. No, that's Butler. Butler picks up 1. Nope, 2.
Chase Butler with the carry, brought down by Christopher Shotwell. Short gain on the play, second down Tigers.
Shotwell with the tackle. Bergeson in the pistol. The inside handoff to Butler. Butler slips out on one tackle. He's got a first down, or darn near, before he's knocked out of bounds by Sargent. He does have the first down. Pickup of 9. Seven and a half to play in the third quarter. I don't know if you can tell, Ogden's got reflective tiger paws as their logo on their helmets. It's kind of cool. Here's another one that's just about picked off. Bergeson tosses it, coming up hard on the screen. It was Ethan Davis. He had both hands on it and he couldn't haul it in. And he's like, oh, that's my chance. Now it's 2nd and 10 for the Tigers. And they had a pretty good screen set up behind that. Davis foils that. Sargent playing press coverage to the far side. They're playing off to the near side. Bergeson's going to keep it. He's tripped up after a short gain. It's Thompson.
Quarterback keeper short being the play. Third down, Ogden Tigers. Andrew Thompson on the tackle.
Third down for Ogden. They're 0 for on third down tonight. For 5. This is 3rd and 7. I think Logan brings some heat. 4-man rush. Bergeson sets up the screen again, and this time he has to just kind of throw it away as Thompson was bearing down.
Incomplete pass. Andrew Thompson breaking up the play.
Thompson's always around the ball.
Fourth down and 7 for the Tigers.
He's one guy. I know the guys over at the radio stations are putting together their all-Valley team. I had a chat with one of them. He was asking me what I thought, and Thompson was one guy I would put on mine. A couple of Grizzlies. Thompson, Shotbell, Larson, Hadfield were the ones that I mentioned. And here kind of everybody moves. Logan jumped, but they didn't come across, and Ogden will get the penalty.
Called start on the Tigers.
So it's going to be 4th down and 12. And the clock rolling with under 5.5 to play in the third. Logan on top 55-13. They've scored through the air. They've scored on the ground. Kick return for a touchdown. Interception return for a touchdown. We haven't seen a fumble return. We haven't seen a safety. And we haven't seen a punt return for a touchdown. But as I say that, Ike Larson comes out onto the field, and he's the human touchdown. Let's see if Crabtree tries to keep it away from him. Larson's going to have a chance at this one. He's back at the 13. Coming near sideline, picks up a block, and that's going to bring flags. It's the same thing that brought flags earlier. You can't peel back and earhole a guy anymore. You can't do that blind side block. They used to be able to do that all the time, and you'd say, wow, what a great block. And as somebody that has been blocked like that, it hurts. At the very least, it knocks the wind out of you. At the worst, it can give you a concussion. And this kid, whoever got blocked, is still down on the field. That happened back at the 17. It's going to be half the distance to the goal. And he's holding his head like, you know, that's what you don't, that's why they don't want you to do it anymore, those head injuries. You can get a whiplash-like injury in your neck. You can get a concussion. It looked like it might have been, is it 66, Dylan Palacios? Still haven't caught his number. It is, it's Palacios, 66. You just can't do that play anymore. And the Grizzlies have done it twice tonight, and both times they've wiped out a good return. So the Grizzlies are going to start back at their own 8-yard line, leading 55-13. Wilson's still in there. Kai Lang joins Thornley in the backfield with Wilson in that pistol formation. Larson, the receiver, to the near side. They're going to give to Thornley. He cuts back inside, and he's hauled down out at the 18-yard line, a gain of 10. Let's see if it's the full 10. It's going to be a first down. It's 10.
First down, Grizzlies.
So Thornley's over 200 yards for the night. He's at 202 on 16 carries. Sauer and Sargent to the far side, Pond and Larson to the near side. Thornley in the backfield with Wilson. No, that's Lang that was to the near side. Now he motions in, and Wilson's going to keep it. Wilson looking for a block. He gets it, and he steps out of bounds up at about the 32-yard line, 36-yard line. 17 yards for Wilson.
That first down is brought to you by Rockslide Engineering. Thank you, Rockslide Engineering.
And we've got a penalty. That's a sideline warning on Ogden. So it's a first down for the Grizzlies. Grizzlies started back inside their own 10-yard line. And they're out to the 38. And to Thornley again. Tries to jump over nobody. He looked like he was going to jump over Gavin Herrick. He picks up 12 yards and a first down. I could see what he was trying to do. He's right at midfield, and Herrick comes over and looks like he's going to duck down and try to take out Thornley's feet. So Thornley jumps, and then Herrick kind of held up. And Thornley just ends up hopping through the air and getting pushed out of bounds. Had the maneuver been completed, it would have been a 10. An Olympic qualifier. Here's the give to Lang, who puts his head down and pushes his way forward for a yard. The freshman getting his first carry of the night. He's been playing fullback quite a bit. I was down there on the field and one of the coaching staff said, you're going to see him a little bit tonight. Kai Lang, the freshman, and he is put together, that kid. He's got a lot of rocks in his pockets. And he's a freshman, which means he's about 14 years old. Maybe 15. And he's asking what the play is again. Plenty of time on the play clock. On second down and 8. Wilson across the middle looking for Lang, and he can't get there.
Incomplete pass intended for number 41. That's Kai Lang. Third down 8 for the Grizzlies.
So it's 3rd and 8 for Logan. They're 2 of 4 on third downs. And we're approaching 2 minutes to play in the third. Logan trying to close this out so they can get ready for Park City. The Miners, the top seed. Skyview's number 1 in 4A, according to the Deseret News. In their rankings. Here's the end around to Larson. Larson on that little fly sweep. He does jump over a defender, and he picks up 9 yards and a first down.
Gain of 9 on the play. Brought down by Jaden Duveld. That's another Grizzly first down. That first down is brought to you by Cache Valley Electric. Thank you, Cache Valley Electric.
Skyview's ranked number 1 in the D News poll there, but Park City's the number 1 team with RPI. Skyview's second. I would be shocked if Skyview doesn't end up in the title game. They are just such a complete team. I haven't seen Park City play. I don't want to comment on them because I don't know anything about them. But Skyview, just such a complete ball team. Here's the throw to Larson again on a little naked screen. Makes a move. Down to the 30.
Isaac Larson with the reception.
In fact, it's down to the 27.
On the play, brought down by Gavin Herrick. That's another Grizzly first down, and that first down is brought to you by Lewiston State Bank.
Larson's got 78 yards on 3 catches and 2 touchdowns. And we're under a minute to play here in the third. They fake to Larson. Wilson keeps it, and he heads for the sideline. He runs out of bounds after a 2-yard gain and a flag.
Ethan Wilson, the quarterback keeper,
Larson might have turned upfield a little early. And it's procedure on the Grizzlies, their 4th penalty of the night.
Penalty on the Grizzlies.
It's about the only thing slowing them down right now. Bear River leads Ben Lomond in the second quarter 3-0. Take a look at a couple other scores after this play. 1st and 15, they hand to Shopbell, who's in there now. Thornley might be done for the night. Shopbell loses a yard.
Christopher Shopbell with the carry. Brought down by Austin Richards.
That's going to be the end of the third quarter. We go to the fourth. The Grizzlies 12 minutes away from the second round, 55-13 Logan on the Game of the Week playoff edition.
Winter athletes, no hospital network is more committed to short emergency room wait times than Mountain Star Healthcare. Text ER to 23,000 for current wait times.
12 more minutes left in Ogden's season if they can't make the most miraculous of all-time comebacks. And Logan looking to move on. Cedar City beats Crimson Cliffs 21-19. That means that Cedar City will be coming to play Green Canyon next week. And right now, that's what we've got planned on the Game of the Week for you for next week, Green Canyon and Cedar City. Cedar Valley leads Canyon View 21-7. And the winner of that one would play Skyview. Here's the throw on second and long out to Sargent. He picks up 6 as we start the fourth quarter.
Number 20, Ozzie Knowlton. Third down 10 for the Grizzlies.
Sargent, 3 catches, 24 yards. Thornley, I think, might be done for the night. You know, he had 834 yards coming into this game. He's got 214 now, so he's over 1,000 for the season. And he missed a couple of games with a shoulder injury, and then they didn't run him much after he came back. Here's the throw to the edge to Sargent. Picks up another 8.
Pushed out of bounds by Jaden Duveld.
No, that's 9.
Fourth down for the Grizzlies.
So Logan has 4th and 2. Instead of going for a field goal, they stay on the field. Lang motions in. They hand it off to Shotbell. He's got the first down. And he's down to the 15-yard line. A pickup of 4.
That's another Grizzly first down. That first down is brought to you by Rock Slide Engineering.
Mountain Crest was leading 51-0 at the half in their game. Ridgeline plays Hurricane tomorrow. It's Hurricane, not Hurricane. It's Hooper, not Hooper. And it's Manaway, not Mantua. And we all know how to say Tooele. Here's the give to Shotbell. He gets outside, fakes inside, heads for the pylon, and scores from 15 yards out.
That touchdown is by Christopher Shotbell.
And I think the Grizz are taking out some frustration tonight offensively. I was just looking at the score. You know, I can follow the scores on one of the websites of one of the papers there in Salt Lake, and they've got the third quarter score. Logan 110, Ogden 26. I think somebody's messing with them. PAT's good. It's not 110-26, but it's 62-13, so we're kind of close. Logan on their way to the second round.
Vehicle won't start? We can fix that. Not running right? We can fix that. Won't stop? We can fix that. Auto Evolution, honest service at a fair price on Airport Road.
(62-13). Logan on top. Taking care of business on their way to their first home playoff win since 2013. Here's Shobe getting to the edge. Look out. Shobe cuts back inside and finally run out of bounds deep into Logan territory. He's at the 39.
First down for the Ogden Tigers.
Ferguson fakes the pitch, then the inside handoff to Shobe. Flag comes down, Shobe walloped. Oh, he was hit. And he's slow to get up at the 26-yard line. A flag back at the 38. Shobe picked up 13. Covington came over. And he brought the wood.
There's a flag on the play.
Well, they're picking up the flag.
No flag on the play.
So it's 13 yards for Shobe.
First down, Ogden Tigers.
$11 carries, 87 yards for Shobe. He had a big 32-yarder that really bumped his average up there. That's what running backs will do, right? They'll get a few, then break a big one. That's how you put together a big rushing game. Ferguson's going to throw back, and Butler drops it. He's going to throw it as a double pass, and this one's going to end up out of bounds. So Butler was able to pick it up because it was a backwards throw, which means it's a fumble. He picks it up, and then he never got his hand on it right and just threw a duck up there. They were trying to double pass. Ogden pulling out all the stops. Working on a little bit of everything. You know, that's what you do. You get in a game like this, and especially if you got some underclassmen, although Butler's a senior. Ferguson, the sophomore. It'd be interesting to see if they let him throw it a little bit more, but they're lining up in the eye right now. He's been handing it off. He's going to throw it now, rolling to his right. He's got a man underneath, and said he takes the mid-pattern, and that's going to be a touchdown. Crabtree from 27 yards out.
And that's a touchdown for the Ogden Tigers.
$86 yards on 5 of 12 for Ferguson, and a touchdown. He's thrown 2 interceptions. 1 return for a touchdown. Oh, he's thrown 3 interceptions. Didn't mark that one earlier. 8 minutes to play in the ball game. Ogden looks like they might be going for 2. Ferguson under center. Flags are flying, and Ogden took too much time.
Game, the Ogden Tigers. 5-yard penalty.
It's 9 penalties now on the Tigers. They're still going for 2. Ferguson rolling the other way, tosses it to the end zone, and he's just wide of his target. He had a receiver in the end zone, but he threw it just wide. 62-19, 8:03 to play in the ball game.
At Ultra, we don't believe in limits, or telling runners they can't, or it's not possible. That's why we dared to make shoes with a foot-shaped toe box, and gave runners zero-drop technology so that runners could say goodbye to limits too. Ultra invites you to experience the difference everyone's talking about with zero risk. Love your run or send them back within 30 days, no questions asked. Get your pair today at ultrarunning.com. Ultra, zero limits.
We got a score out of Hiram. Uinta gets on the board. 57-6, the score out there at that one. At halftime, Mountain Crest led 51-0. They had run 9 offensive plays. So both Valley teams that are playing tonight have really put it on the opponents. Onside kick, and Ogden's all over it. Let's see if they got it. There's only one Grizzly there and a lot of white shirts. It hit the Grizzly receiver in the knees and bounced back towards Ogden, and the Tigers have it. So a couple of turnovers now here in the second half for Logan, and they're firmly in control, but they're up by 43, but I kind of would think that the coaching staff, Coach Bowen, really doesn't want to see his team start to get sloppy. I mean, it's hard. You're up that much. I think the Grizzlies have got some backups in there now. Larson's still in there at safety. Shop Bell's out. A lot of the line has been replaced now. Here's the pitch. Shobe works his way down to the 33-yard line. It's 11 yards and a first down. $98 yards for Shobe on 12 carries. I think that means when Logan gets the ball back offensively, you'll probably see all the backups in on offense as well. But yeah, Larson's really your only starter out there. Hoff is still in there. Here's the pitch, and Butler's going to throw. Crabtree high points it and comes up with it.
Pass complete to Cooper Crabtree. First and goal.
29 yards. First and goal. Tigers. 2 catches, 56 yards for Crabtree. And Ogden putting some points on the board here in the late going. Looking for some more. Ferguson pitches it out. Into the end zone is Butler for the touchdown from 4 yards out.
Chase Butler on the carry. That's touchdown, Ogden Tigers. There is a flag on the play.
There is a flag. Let's see what the call is. It's in the end zone, so the score probably counts. Looks like it might be an unsportsmanlike. Touchdown's good. It's a dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct on Logan. So they're going to take it on the kickoff. Now they move the ball down to the 1.5 yard line. Now they're moving it back. Okay, so the officials talk to each other. And Ferguson's on for the 2-point attempt. Rolling to his right. Interference in the end zone, and they don't throw it. Now they do. You had to call it. Sometimes in just a blowout game, you'll see the officials kind of let little things go. There was nothing little about that. There was a lot of grabbing and holding, and it looked like a twister game had broken out near the pylon. So they get another chance from the 1.5 yard line. Larson calls the play, and he steps in front of his defense and tells them, let's keep him out of there. Shobe is in there, and Butler's the fullback. Ferguson under center. Looking to throw, looking for the back of the end zone, and Crabtree comes up with it. 6:20 to play in the game. 62-27, Logan on top in the fourth quarter.
They would tell me something and I'd say, huh? And then they'd tell me again and I'd say, huh? And they'd say, never mind. And so I called and made an appointment.
Say the word pass.
He's a PhD, and I know what it takes to get a PhD.
Say the word red.
It was like night and day. And then the hearing test was the thing that I thought, wow, he really knows what he's doing. I would recommend Dr. Daines to anybody, everybody.
62-27, and the kickoff is moved up to the 45-yard line because of the penalty against Logan. So you're going to see another onside kick here by Ogden. I'm sure they recovered the last one and scored. And they pulled it within 35. Still a running clock. Unless they score again. And then we'll be down to the regular time. It goes 10 yards. Nobody ever picks it up. Nobody ever comes up and gets it for Logan. That's going to be Ogden ball again.
Onside kick was recovered by the Tigers.
Nobody came up and got it. Logan all just watched it. And one of the Ogden Tigers ran right up there and just picked it up on the bounce. And so Ogden gets it again. And let's see, here comes the starting defense for the Grizzlies. I think there'll be some words from the starters to the backups in practice this week about, hey, we want to be done for the night. I don't know, though. Sometimes young kids want to just keep on going. They start the clock, now they stop it again because Ogden wants a timeout. So Logan brings their regular defense back out onto the field. Has Ogden not given up, they could have easily given up on this game when they were down. They were down big. They were down by 47 points. And they were down by more as Logan had scored again. And then they returned to kick, and they've outscored Logan here 14-0 in the last few minutes. And yeah, the Logan starting defense is back on the field, and they don't look too thrilled about it. Other than Shotbell, who's doing a dance. He's glad to be out there hitting people again. I don't know if he's doing a dance so much as doing some dynamic stretching there. And he's talking to his defensive secondary, his Shotbell. They're being kind of animated. They want to put this game away and get ready for Park City. Ogden's still clawing, though. And the ball's free. Butler never got the handle. Let's see, the Grizzlies come up with it. Andrew Thompson says, fine, I'll go in and play again. Here's the ball, let me sit back down. Gatorade's nummy. Fourth turnover of the night for the Tigers. And that one probably just doomed any thoughts of an amazing comeback. So for Logan, they got all their backups in there on offense. See who's going to be quarterback. They're going to have to hurry. It's Pond. 5 seconds. 2 seconds, and they're not going to get this play off. Basically bringing all the backups in, and they were all looking around, who's going where, what are we doing, which sometimes happens when you get all the backups in, and that's the 5th penalty of the night for the Grizzlies. 35 yards on 5 penalties. We're under 5 minutes to play. Here's another flag. And Logan's moving early.
Now Lane goes in motion. Pond's going to hand it off. And no gain there. I kid you not, here's the score out of Hiram, 71-6. Mountain Crest with under a minute to play in that ball game.
Brought down by Chase Butler.
Which we'd probably have less than a minute to play in this one too, but nobody told Ogden they were supposed to just roll over. The Tigers have kept on fighting. They closed the gap to 62-27. Then they turn it over and the gap hasn't closed anymore. Defensively, Ogden still looking to make the stop and see if they can get the ball back. Now it's 3rd down and 20. As we approach 3 minutes to play in the ball game. So next week's game at Park City is slated for 4 o'clock. That's the prescribed time by UHSAA. They used to let the schools kind of decide. I'm not sure if they still let them do that with the changes in the format. All the games are slotted for 4 p.m. next week. They're going to inside run again on 3rd down and 10. And we're under 3 minutes.
Tackle made by Carson Payne.
Logan's going to punt. And the play clock hasn't started now. Here we go. Logan will be able to run this thing down to almost 2 minutes before they have to snap it. Thompson's in there to punt. Is this his first punt tonight? This may be his first punt tonight. And they may take the penalty as well, because then they'll respot the ball and start the clock again. Well, they're going to snap it, and Thompson's going to kick it away. High kick. Fielded at about the 35-yard line. And that's where Ogden will take over. Kellen Roper with the tackle.
7-yard line by Cooper Crabtree, brought down by Kellen Roper.
2:06 to play in this ball game. The Grizzlies with 292 yards rushing, 131 yards passing. Tonight, 423 total yards. Shobe has run for 98 yards for Ogden. Bergeson being chased from the backside. Now Tupou gets there. And this one nearly picked off. Logan brought their starting D back. They said, fine, if you backups don't want to go out there and play, which I'm sure they did, but coaches will do that. Hey, if you're not ready, they'll teach a lesson to some of these guys that don't get as much time. A lot of them are underclassmen. You teach them that lesson that, hey, you got to be ready when it's time to strap it up. 2nd and 10. 62-27. Logan firmly in control all the way. They scored on offense, defense, and special teams tonight. Here's the inside give to Shobe. Shobe in space. Finally being slung out of bounds, and he's got his 100-yard night. He's at 108 on a 10-yard run. They're going to move the chains, set the ball, and start the clock again. And no, they're not, because Ogden wants a timeout.
Timeout, Ogden.
So next week we're looking at Green Canyon and Cedar out in North Logan. That'll be the game that we bring to you, and then next week we'll head out to Skyview. And after that, You're into the semis and the finals. Again, I would be shocked if Skyview didn't get at least to the semis, if not the finals. And I think Green Canyon's got a good chance at it. Mountain Crest might be a handful for some people. Their offense hasn't been great this year, but their defense has. And they're built for the playoffs. A grinded out team that can play defense. Dude, I think Ogden's got too many guys on the field. Let's see. Logan calls timeout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nope, they've got 11, and they came out in a little bit of an odd formation. Like I said, Ogden and Eric Thompson, they're still fighting. There's really no hope to win this ball game, but they're still fighting, are the Tigers. There's 57 seconds left in a 35-point game. But the Tigers could have laid down easily, and they didn't. So Ogden comes back out in that odd formation. The ball's over on the far hash. And who's your quarterback? The center is going to snap it to Schob. And Schob picking up big yardage. Finally knocked out of bounds inside the 30-yard line.
Pushed out of bounds by Isaac Larson. First down, Ogden Tigers.
Down to the 27. 21 yards. So Schob at 129 for the evening. And Ogden, Coach Thompson huddling up his offense real quick while they set the chains. Ogden's going to call their last timeout of the night. For a game with a running clock, it's taken a long time to play this fourth quarter. The scoring and all the timeouts being taken. It's like an NBA. It's like the last couple of minutes of a close NBA game. Not that it's a terrible evening. It's been nice. The sun was shining today when this game started. It's cooled off now that the sun's down, but this is a great venue. Back in the background, you've got the Logan LDS Temple and Old Main lit up there on the hill, looking down over the field. Friday nights are for football. Saturday up on the hill. And the Aggies playing over on the other side of the hill, playing at the Air Force Academy in Colorado Springs tomorrow. That's a tough one. Hope they can break through. Bergeson unloads down the field. Picked off. Interception number 4 for Bergeson. And now the Grizzlies can just take a knee and call it a night.
That interception is made by number 12, Tyson Sauer.
Sauer comes up with it.
Attention fans, we'd like to remind you that
5 turnovers.
Custom lighting must remain off until the game has
5 turnovers for Ogden. Logan turned it over 3 times, all of them on kickoffs. They failed to recover 2 onside kicks. And then Larson fumbled. Well, that was a punt return, I think he fumbled on. I can't remember if it was a punt return or a kick to return he fumbled on, but they didn't turn it over on offense, did the Grizzlies. They're going to have to snap it. There's about a 3-second difference between the game clock and the play clock, and that's it. The Grizzlies, 400-plus yards offensively. They score in all 3 phases of the game, and they move on to the next round. They'll be at Park City next Friday. We'll be at Green Canyon. We'll see you next time on the Game of the Week.
The Game of the Week on the Valley Channel is brought to you by Icon Health and Fitness, changing lives with fitness innovation. Wendy's of Cache Valley, it's way better than fast food, it's Wendy's. Mountain Star Cache Valley Hospital, together we're greater. New Smile Dental, experienced dental care. Cache Valley Hearing and Audiology, bring back what you have been missing. Palmer Home Furnishings. Our low overhead means higher quality at lower prices. Aspen Dental. Get that gorgeous smile you've always wanted. KSM means music. Music is all we do. Four Seasons Apartments and Townhomes is your home. Anderson Seed and Garden, growing better gardeners. Factory Pizzeria, we're open late after the game. The Logo Shop, we logo stuff, all kinds of stuff. And the Valley Channel, Cache Valley's TV station for over 25 years.